Mei Lin is a 13-year-old Canadian teenager. Her mother is of Chinese descent and is extremely controlling. In Mei Lin's mind, the least she could do to repay them for everything they do for her is obey them in absolutely everything. Since she turned 13, she's been her own person. Along with her friends, Miriam, Priya and Abby, the girl was ready to take over the world. After school, the girls always go to check out the clerk at the nearby convenience store. Devin is the dream boyfriend of Mei Lin's friends, but the girl is more interested in the boys of Four Town, an all-male pop band. The trio invite Mei Lin to go to karaoke, but the girl claims she needs to help her mother, Ming Li, with the cleaning. She also has responsibilities in taking care of the temple together with her mother as one of them. Her family runs Toronto's largest Chinese temple. After cleaning the temple, they prepare to welcome visitors. Mei Lin wears her red panda costume as her mother explains that since her ancestor's death, the animal has blessed her family with great luck and prosperity. After business hours, they return home and watch TV while Jin, Mei Lin's father, makes dinner. During the commercial break, the girl discovers that her favorite band, Four Town, will start their new tour. She is excited by the news. After dinner, while doing her homework, the girl gets distracted and starts drawing a boy in her notebook. Minutes later, her mother appears in the room and the girl jumps into bed. However, she soon realizes that the notebook was not hidden. Ming decides to look at what the girl was doing and finds drawings of her. The woman soon recognizes the boy and decides to go to the convenience store to teach him a lesson. Ming goes to the boy and shows Devin his daughter's drawings. Several other boys approach to know what was happening and the boy is scared to see that. The woman orders him to stay away from Mei Lin and then leaves. After freaking out for a few minutes, she promises it would never happen again and tries to sleep. The next morning, she goes to the bathroom and, looking in the mirror, cannot understand what is happening. Suddenly, the girl turned into a giant red panda. Mei Lin screams and her mother runs to the bathroom. She knocks on the door and asks what happened, but the girl doesn't want to say. When her mother enters the bathroom, she hides behind the curtains. However, Mei Lin is eventually saved by the fire alarm, which it goes off after the woman forgets her porridge in the oven. The girl takes the opportunity and runs to her room. She believes that she just needed to go back to sleep, and once she wakes up, it will all be gone. Then her whole body returns to normal. Except for one thing, her hair was red. Her mother prepares to take her to school and the girl wears a cap to hide her new look. When she enters the school, she tries to remain calm. Otherwise, her monster would reappear. However, her plans go awry when Mei Lin finds dozens of posters tacked to the wall with the drawings she had made. Taylor, one of her classmates, was responsible for that tasteless prank and Mei Lin intends to pay back. But she gives up on that idea when her fist turns into a clump of fur and her tail appears. The girl runs to her class and tries to control herself. During class, Miriam warns the girl that her mother is snooping around outside the school. One of the guards asks what she is doing and the woman soon attacks him. The man tries to hold her and Ming runs to the window screaming for her daughter. At that moment, an explosion happens. Mei Lin can't contain her emotions and completely transforms into a red panda. The students were attentive to the window, so she manages to escape unnoticed. But the woman sees everything that has happened and goes after her daughter. After escaping through the window, her mother gets in the car and tries to catch up with her. The clumsy panda destroys everything in its path. Mei Lin finally makes it home. Jin appears shortly after and asks if the transformation has already taken place. The three then walk to the temple and Ming reveals that hundreds of years ago, her ancestor asked the gods to change her into a red panda so she could save her daughters from the war. One night, during the red moon, the gods granted her wish and gave her the ability to master her emotions to transform herself into a powerful mystical beast. In this way, the woman was able to fend off the bandits, protect her village, and save her family from ruin. A few years later, Sun Yi passed this gift on to her daughters. Upon hearing this story, Mei Lin is filled with hatred and tries to destroy the image of her ancestor. But her parents manage to calm her down and reveal that there is a cure. Her mother had also gone through that and says that the only way to get rid of that curse is to perform a ritual to seal the panda's spirit during the red moon. Ming's panda was sealed in her necklace and she intended to do the same with Mei Lin. That way, the girl would be cured forever. The problem is that the next red moon would not happen until next month. Until then, the girl would have to hold back her emotions as much as possible, as any strong emotion could unleash the monster. Her parents then put the girl's mattress in an empty room so there would be no further accidents. The next morning, her friends appear at her bedroom window and tell her that Four Town is going to perform in Toronto. At that moment, Mei Lin opens the window and pulls her friends into the room. The girls are desperate to see her like that and the panda tries to calm them down. To her surprise, Priya and Abby are delighted with their friend's new appearance and say she looks very cute. Abby informs that the performance will take place on the 18th of the next month and the red moon would only happen on the 25th. Therefore, Mei-lin could not attend the show. She tells her parents that she learned to control the panda and allows them to test her to prove that she is telling the truth. They show her several images that cause strong emotions in the girl, but nothing is able to make her transform. Mei-lin takes advantage of this moment to ask permission to go to the show, but her mother immediately denies it. She says that in a concert the girl would be consumed by emotion and wouldn't be able to control herself. A few minutes later, the phone rings and Jin informs Ming that her mother wants to speak with her. The woman answers the phone and the old woman informs her that she heard about Mei-lin's panda through the news, so she was going to Toronto. Before the woman can say anything, her mother hangs up the phone. Now they had to find a way to get money for the tickets, but just as Mei-lin transforms, some girls from her class enter the bathroom. The girl tries to hide, but it's too late. Her cover was blown. To the surprise of the four friends, those girls really liked the red panda and were even willing to pay to see him. That's how the plan to get the ticket money was put into action. They started charging to allow students to take a picture with the panda. However, there was still $100 to go and the show would be that Saturday. Just then, Tyler appears and asks Mei-lin to go to her birthday as a panda. Only then would his classmates be interested in going. The girl immediately denies it, but he says he's willing to pay for her presence. Mei-lin charges $200 for the job and the boy accepts the proposal. When she was getting ready to leave the house, Mei-lin's grandmother arrives in Toronto with her sisters to perform the panda sealing ritual. The woman advises her granddaughter not to let that beast out again, as every time this happens, the panda gains strength and it becomes even more difficult to get rid of it during the ritual. A few minutes later, Mei-lin shows up at the birthday in the panda costume worn at her family's temple. Tyler claims that if the panda didn't show up, he wouldn't pay the $200. Seeing her friend's sadness at not being able to go to the show, Mei-lin decides to ignore her grandmother's advice and transforms into the red panda. After having a great time with the guests, the four friends gather on the roof of the house and eat cake while celebrating that they would make it to the show. However, the big dream comes to an end when the radio guy informs that Town will be in Toronto on the 25th and not the 18th, as Abby had said. The girl was freaked out that she wouldn't be able to go to the show with her friends. Tyler orders the panda to play with the guests again and Mei-lin gets even more annoyed. He claims that the contract is over and he would no longer pay what he had agreed. Mei-lin loses control and attacks the boy. The woman goes to her daughter's room and sees the window open. She finds several photos and objects related to the red panda. Ming arrives just in time and asks his daughter to release him. The shaman makes a circle on the floor and asks the girl not to leave it. As long as the red moon shines, the astral plane would be open and that was the door. The girl remembers all the good times she had as a panda and decides to return to him. Her mother approaches and tries to calm her. She then tosses them away and says that she is going to see the show. The impact causes a crack in Ming's amulet, which contained her panda. Mei-lin uses her transformation skills to get to the show faster and soon finds her friends. As soon as the band starts the performance, the giant panda appears and destroys the place looking for the girl. Ming destroys the Town sign and Mei-lin is very angry. She transforms into the panda and bites that thing's finger. Mei-lin manages to headbutt her mother, hard enough to knock her down. The woman hits her head and is unconscious, but half her body is out of the circle. Mei-lin tries to pull her inside and her aunts join her. The women break their amulets and unleash their beasts. All together they get enough strength to pull Ming into the circle as they sing. The ritual begins and they are all sent to the astral plane. There, Mei-lin meets the younger version of her mother. Girl takes her hand and guides her to the portal. Arriving there, she finds her grandmother and her aunts and Ming takes the opportunity to ask her mother for forgiveness. Together they all cross the portal, except Mei-lin, who now, more than ever, is determined to continue with her panda. Sun Yi's spirit picks up the girl and takes her under the moonlight, where they say their goodbyes. At the end of that tragedy, Mei-lin continued to work with her mother at the temple and helps attract even more visitors with her panda transformation. Now her mother didn't stop her from going to karaoke with her friends and even invited them to dinner.